Hey guys, Taylor here, inside Guild Wars 2. This is the final beta weekend for Heart of Thorns. As such, I am looking through all of the major changes that are coming to professions in the new expansion. Specifically, the major changes that will be happening are in the form of elite specializations. Currently, I'm on my Ranger, and I would like to show you the elite specialization of the Druid. Now there's a lot going on with the Druid. There are some minor changes to the class. That's the case with every elite specialization. There was a little kind of kink thrown in to differentiate, your elite specialization from your normal class. You're granted access to a new weapon, and then you also have access to new utility skills. In the case of the Ranger, you are given access to a staff, or excuse me, the Druid, you are given access to a staff, and you have access to signets. So those are the major changes, or the new additional items you receive by becoming a Druid. Now if I open up the talent tree and look at the very first talent, you can see what major change is coming with becoming a Druid. And it is Celestial Being. You can equip staves and gain access to Glyphs. You can become a celestial avatar once you gain enough astral force. Generate astral force by healing allies and damaging foes. Now I do want to say before we go any further that the Ranger or the Druid is probably the one specialization that is most likely to kind of change a bit before Heart of Thorns releases. It is by far the most raw of all of the elite specializations, so there could be some minor changes, but mostly you're going to be seeing what you will be getting when the expansion actually launches. So I'm going to have to do things a little bit differently here. I'm going to look at the Glyphs first, and then we will look at the staff, and then we will look at the Celestial Avatar and the Glyphs. Because the Glyphs all change once you go into Celestial Avatar, and then lastly we'll look at the talent tree as a whole. So to start off with the Glyphs, the first one we have is Glyph of Rejuvenation. Apply significant healing to yourself and minor healing to your allies. So pretty simple, heal right there. The second glyph is Glyph of Alignment. Damage and apply conditions to nearby foes. So go ahead and use this here, as you can see right there. Pretty flashy. I'm going to move forward so people can see a little bit better. The third glyph is going to be Glyph of Equality. You daze nearby foes. So use this here. You can see it's just kind of an explosion on you. And then the last one here is going to be Glyph of Empowerment. Increase outgoing damage of nearby enemies. Now before you do, let me switch to this. Increase outgoing damage of nearby enemies. So it's a damage buff. I'm going to go ahead and use this here, and then there we go. Combat. The fourth one here is Glyph of Ties. You push enemies away from you. So go ahead and use this. And you can see it's a pretty large knockback. It's an AoE knockback that just shoves everyone away. The last glyph you have here is Glyph of Unity. You tether yourself to nearby foes. Whenever you take damage, deal damage to the foes tethered to you. So, I'll go ahead and come up close and use this, and now I'm tethered to the foe, and damage takes effect. Pretty cool. So those are the glyphs that you receive as a Druid in Heart of Thorns if you decide to pick up this elite specialization. Now, you have access to a staff, and I've been using it. The first staff ability is known as Solarbeam. You fire a concentrated beam of light, damaging the targeted foe and healing allies inside of the beam. So it's a heal and damage all in one. It pierces through everything. It's not too potent. ArenaNet did say they were going to be buffing the damage a bit, but we'll see what actually happens. The second ability, well, you've already seen it, but I'll show it to you right here. It's just a straight beam. The second ability is Astral Wisp. Send a Wisp to attach to your foe. While attached, it will circle the foe, healing allies it passes through. So, send there, then you see the Wisp floating around. And it can heal people that it passes through if they are close enough to the foe. Now, I honestly don't know how that's going to work with very large bosses, if the radius of the Wisp travels is larger or it still is a very small radius. That's kind of something that I'm a little confused about, and I'm not sure how that's actually going to function. The third is Ancestral Grace. Become a wisp of natural energy traversing to the target location. When you reach the target, heal nearby allies. Now, as you notice, Druid is very heal heavy, very heal intensive ability. So as you can see there's no damage, because I was right on the target, but I jumped to a location and healed them. The fourth is Vine Surge. Send forth vines that immobilize enemies and cleanse conditions from allies. So it's cleansing and immobilization all in one. And it's got this kind of, you know, projectile skill shot type thing. You can see right here, I'm going to send it out, and the vines are just going to pour out and attack. So that's pretty cool. The last ability here is known as Sublime Conversion. Summon an energy barrier that causes enemy projectiles to heal on impact. So basically, if you're being just like bombarded with, let's say another ranger is, you know, sending tons of arrows your way, you can put this in front of you, and all of those arrows will turn into healing. So that's a pretty cool barrier to have, and a heal utility to have when you're in combat. I don't know how much effect it'll have in PvP because the positioning is really difficult, but in PvE, that will have some huge merits to be used. So those are all of the staff abilities. Now, as you deal damage, if you didn't notice in the tooltip here, I'm going to pull this up again so we can explain Celestial Avatar a little bit better. You gain Astral Force per heal. 2.5% of your heal is counted towards Astral Force, and 1/4% of your damage is counted towards Astral Force. And once it builds up, you can switch into Celestial Avatar form. This is a new form, and it's complete healing at the moment. I don't know if they're going to change this, but right now it is complete healing at the moment. And you'll notice when I switch that all of my glyphs will change as well. So I'm going to have to constantly be building up to go through all of this because there's a lot to go through. But we will begin, and I will start with the abilities for your Celestial Avatar. So we'll transform into Celestial Avatar. The first one is Cosmic Ray. Call down energy onto the target area to heal allies. So it's just a beam, straight beam, just like that. The second is Seed of Life. Summon a seed that heals and cleanses nearby allies of conditions when it blossoms. So there's a seed right there, and it blossoms, and then heals and cures. So as you can see, the Celestial Avatar did not last very long. I'm already out of it, but you can see right here I'm building it up again. This staff number 1 is an excellent ability for it to build up, and I'm already back to this, so I can switch back into it. Number 3, Celestial Avatar. Call down a massive lunar beam that heals allies and dazes foes. So we're going to daze foes right there, and then heal allies at the same time. The fourth ability here is Rejuvenating Ties. Gather a tidal force to rapidly heal nearby allies. So you can see right here, it's on me, it travels with me, it's pretty cool. Now I don't know if you noticed, that's the second time I've exited Celestial Avatar. Both times I have gone into stealth every single time that's happened. So you kind of go into stealth. I'm not sure if that's a talent. We'll take a look at it in the actual tree at the end. But you do go into stealth at the end of the Celestial Avatar form. So, switching into it again, the last ability we have here is Natural Convergence. Channel your celestial powers, pulsing, cripple, and slow. Once the channel ends, any foes still within its radius are trapped by the black hole, immobilizing them. So, I'm going to go ahead and use this right here. As you can see, I'm pulsing, and it brings it in. It kind of really does look like a black hole type of thing. So that's pretty cool, I will say. So, those are all the abilities of the Celestial Avatar form. I know I had to kind of go through them quickly. That's because the Celestial Avatar does not last very long. And now I need to take a look at the glyphs there and how they change with Celestial Avatar form. So, let me build this up again. I'm not gonna lie, this should help a bit. Healing overall helps a lot, but you can see it's not moving up too quickly now. It can be frustrating how long it takes for the Celestial Avatar to actually build up, and that is, you know, an issue that we've taken up with ArenaNet. Hopefully that will change a little bit. As I said, this is most likely one of the classes that will see some changes before the launch actually goes through. So switching into Celestial Avatar, you can see this has changed. Apply significant healing to your allies and minor healing to yourself. So it flip-flops there, but it's pretty much the same. The second one is Glyph of Ties. You pull enemies towards you instead of knocking them back. So before you knock them back, now you're kind of gripping them all in. The last is Glyph of Equality. Break stun for nearby allies. That's opposed to this Glyph of Equality, which you daze nearby foes. So we'll go ahead and build up our Astral form again, and then we will be able to see what that does exactly. So, Celestial form again. Break stun for nearby allies. There's that. The next one is Glyph of Empowerment. Increase outgoing healing of nearby allies. That is different from the other one, which I believe you increase the amount of damage that your allies do. So I'm going to go ahead and break it right here and build up again. As you can see, increase outgoing damage of nearby allies. So they all pretty much, it's yin and yang. It literally is exact opposite of what you should be getting from the glyphs. So let me finish this off. We're in full avatar form. We'll pull up the last glyph, and then we'll look at the last glyph, and then the elite glyph. So Glyph of Alignment, damage and apply conditions to nearby foe. When I enter Celestial form, you heal and remove conditions from nearby allies. So that's how it differentiates. And then lastly, we have Glyph of Unity. Tether yourself to nearby allies. Whenever you're healed, you heal the tethered allies as well. That's the exact opposite of how the elite glyph worked before. So as you can see there, for a short moment, I was actually tethered to my pet, and that's how that will work. So that is Celestial Avatar form. The Druid is a massive healing elite specialization, and that is why I kind of see possible some changes coming, and that is because it is so one-dimensional in terms of healing that we may see some changes putting some more damage into the form as opposed to it just being straight healing. But all that's left now is to take a look at the talent tree for the Druid. Now we already know the first one. The second one, the first set of tree I should say. The first is Druidic Clarity. Become a Celestial Avatar. Removes conditions from you. So conditions removed 13, that's a lot. The second one is Cultivated Synergy. Using a heal skill, heals allies around you and your pet. So healing 1,000 and number of allied targets 5. The third one is Primal Echoes. Reduces the recharge of staff skills. Daze nearby foes when you swap to a staff. So this completely uses the staff. Remember, you're not required to use a staff. You can use a longbow if you want to as a druid. I have a longbow equipped. Unless they change something with the coefficients on how quickly it takes to get to Astral form, you pretty much will be using a staff. Hopefully that changes, but I can't make any guarantees. The second minor talent is Live Vicariously. When you heal an ally, you yourself are also healed, so once again playing very heavily into the healing aspect of the druidism. In the second tree we have Celestial Shadow. Grant super speed and stealth to nearby allies when leaving Celestial Avatar form. So that's what I was explaining with when I left Celestial Avatar form, I kept getting stealth. It comes from this talent. The second talent here is Verdant Etching. Reduces the recharge of glyph. Activating a glyph skill plants a seed. So, Seed of Life. Summon a seed that heals and cleanses nearby allies and conditions when it blossoms. It's the exact same thing as, it's one of the, I believe it's the Celestial Avatar number 2. There's a Seed of Life. So, that is what that ability does right there. The third ability is Natural Stride. Reduces duration of movement impairing conditions. Your movement speed is increased as long as you have none of these conditions. So you have a permanent movement speed increase. That's pretty awesome. I mean, you will always move at 33% movement speed as a druid if you decide to take Natural Stride. The fourth minor here is Natural Mender. Increases outgoing healing whenever you heal another ally. So, once again, really plays into the healing of being a druid. And then the final tree, we have Grace of the Land. While you are in Celestial Avatar, your allies gain reduced incoming condition damage. So there's a condition negate right there. The second one is Lingering Light. Healing an ally creates a wisp that orbits you and heals allies it touches. Cosmic Wisp. It's very much like Astral Wisp. So, very similar. Cosmic Wisp, summon a wisp that orbits you while attached. It will circle you and heals allies it passes through. This skill cannot heal the same ally more than once within the interval. So it's basically the same as the Astral Wisp over here. The last ability in the tree here is Ancient Seeds. Striking a stunned, dazed, knocked down, or launched foe summons roots to entangle them. So a little bit of offensive capability, or a real rarity in this Druid tree. But you have some offensive capability there in Ancient Seeds. But that is everything for the Druid. There's a lot going on here. I am not sure if any of it will change. I really see them kind of adding some more offensive capability to the class, because right now it is so healing intensive that it's just really one-dimensional. I just see them kind of changing things a bit. But otherwise, I do believe all the skills, glyphs, everything, those will stay basically the same. If anything, they'll add damage components to abilities, or, you know, change things around in that manner. You know, it'll be more like Staff 1, where you actually have a damage and a healing component in them both in one. The only thing I cannot show you as a ranger, I cannot show you the new pets. They are not working for me. There's a juvenile electric wyvern here, juvenile fire wyvern. I mean, these are really cool pets with awesome abilities. The bristleback is awesome. I believe it has a ranged ability on him. For some reason, I cannot select them and choose them. If I'm able to somehow get access to them, I will make a short video just showing the new pets of a ranger. So that is everything dealing with the ranger and druid in Heart of Thorns. Know that these pets here are not druid specific. You can still get them even if you're not a druid, just so you know. But that's everything dealing with the druid in Heart of Thorns, and the ranger, the major changes for ranger in Heart of Thorns. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope to see a lot of druids out there. Otherwise, Tealus out. See you guys.